Hello, everyone. My name is Yunsu Kim. I'm a program manager on the Microsoft 365 Admin Center team. Today, I'll be giving you a live demo fest of the greatest and latest tools in the Microsoft Admin Center. If it loads. There we go. There's our title slide. So, what is the Microsoft 365 Admin Center? The Microsoft 365 Admin Center is a hub for managing all of your Microsoft 365 services. Based on your needs, we're investing in giving you more actionable insights, increasing your everyday efficiency, and reducing your security risks. In a moment here, I'll be walking through a couple of demos to give you more tools across these areas. So with that, I'll get started right with our demos for today. So right now, I'm signed in as a global admin on the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. I'm currently on the home page. So I'll go to the Users and Active Users section for now. In the Active Users page, the feedback we've gotten is that adding a user can be quite a frustrating task, as you repeatedly need to put in the same settings like licenses, apps, profile information over and over again. To make this process more streamlined and efficient, we've added a new feature called Add User Template. So first, I'll show you how to add a user using our Add User wizard. And then I'll walk you through how templates can make this process more efficient and streamlined. So first, I'll add myself as a user. So I'll just put in my first name and last name. And also create a new user ID and a password. So when I click the next button, I'll select the Windows 10 E5 license for now. I check the apps I have. They look good to me, so I'll click Next. For roles, for now, I don't want to assign any roles to the user, so I'll collapse this. For profile information, I'll put in Program Manager in the Ignite office in Orlando, Florida of the United States. I checked the confirmation screen for all my settings. They look good to me, so I'll go ahead and finish adding my user. So once I see that the user has been added, I see this new feature over here called Save These User Settings as a Template. I can now create a new template. I'll name this Program Manager in Ignite Office. When I save this as a template, I see another option to add another user with this template. When I click this, I see a new panel pop up and see my input field significantly reduced for adding a user. I no longer need to put in my license, app, or office location settings again. If I want to access these templates outside of the Add User experience, I can press User Templates under the command bar in the Active Users page and click any of these templates, or select the Add Template option to add another template. So now I've managed to add my user more efficiently, I might want to perform more bulk management actions. If I click the Cloud Shell icon here on the suite header, I see a PowerShell module pop up. You might be already familiar with this experience in the Azure Active Directory Admin Center. We're bringing this into our Admin Center as well. I see that I don't need to separately configure PowerShell outside of my applications. I can do it inside the web app without configuring separate settings. Here, I'll put in a very simple command. So connect exo PowerShell session. What this command does is it allows me to connect to an Exchange session. I don't need to separately go to the Exchange Admin Center to manage these settings. I can also do this across Teams and Azure as well to manage more workloads for my admin management tasks. In a few seconds, as I talked there, you see I've been already connected to an Exchange session. I've managed my users more effectively now and performed some bulk actions. Now, I'm curious about what roles I can assign to my users to increase my security in the organization. When I click Roles in the left navigation pane, I see that there's already been a few roles suggested for me. I want to see more roles to see how many I have. It looks a little overwhelming to me. What I really want to do is reset passwords for certain admins. So I'll type in resets passwords here. When I do that, I see that the search command searches across the name and description and the permissions of the different roles. I want to learn more about each of these roles, so I click all of them, and I see a Compare Roles option pop up. When I click Compare Roles, I can easily view all of the different permissions for the roles in this page. I can compare the differences and similarities. I want to make my organization more secure, so I want the least privileged admin that just can manage resetting passwords. So I click Password Admin. I can learn more about the different details of the password admin. When I click Assigned Admins, I can see the different users that already have this access. I want to add more users to this role now. So I click Add, and when I do that, I select Abby, and I select Astrid as well to be password admins. When I click Save here, I see that my list now has them added as a password admin. So we've introduced many roles in our admin center to help you have reduce the number of global admins and increase least privileged access. One role that we've heard a lot of feedback from you last Ignite was our global reader role, which I'll be pulling up in this new browser here. The global reader role was created because 70% of our current monthly usage is from global admins. However, global admins are twice as likely to be compromised compared to other admins. Instead, the global reader role allows you to have the same read privileges as a global admin without having these security vulnerabilities. Out of the 25% of tenants who've adopted Global Reader, we've seen their global admin role significantly reduced. So with that, I will demo the setup experience here, which I just loaded. This was also created based on your feedback from last year's Ignite that it was hard to take full potential of your Microsoft 365 services, and you weren't sure which service was quite right for your organization. Therefore, we've created a new setup experiences that best fits your needs with solution-based actions where you can discover different features to configure for your organization. Here I see a recommended for you section where I can take action on that is fit for my organization. I also see a green status check mark here saying I've already completed this action. When I scroll through the experience, I see different sections. I can access them again anytime and see new solution-based actions that populate this area. So I'm more curious about increasing protection from advanced threats, as I've been hearing more about phishing attacks from my admins. So when I click View, I see a Feature Details page. This Feature Details page gives me data visualization, which I can quickly hover over to see how this specific feature adds value to my organization. I also can see different details about this feature in the About section here, in addition to the end user impact. In order to reduce the number of global admins, I now know that security admins can manage this feature instead. I see that Alba is a security admin. I don't need global admins to perform this feature. I now want to learn more and get started with this feature. Because I'm currently a global reader in this browser here, I see a message saying I don't have permissions to edit the setting. However, as a global reader, I can see the actions a global admin would be able to take in configuring these policies. If I were to do more in-depth settings and action management, I can click the Customize Policies button here to go to the Security and Compliance Center for configuring these settings. So from the setup page, I've configured certain settings that are more fit for my organization. Now, I might want to learn more about the different settings in my actual organization. So going back to our global admin browser here, if I click Settings and select the Settings page again, I see that I have the services settings, security and privacy settings, and the organization profile settings. These used to be on 3 separate pages. We heard your feedback that it was quite hard to find the setting you most use and was the most valuable for you. In addition to being able to click through the different settings here, I'm also able to search across all of my settings as well. In this case, I want to manage my modern authentication settings. So I'll search for that. I see it searched up here, so I'll click it. I can manage it from the search experience. The modern authentication setting is a new setting that is replacing the basic auth setting in the Exchange Admin Center that is getting deprecated. So going back to this page here, there's several services at Microsoft I might usually manage. What if I had an issue with a service I commonly use in Microsoft? Now I can go to Health and click Service Health. And I see a button here called Report an Issue. When I click Report an Issue, I might be having an incident that I want to report. So I'll select, is this causing a significant impact to your business? Yes. Right now, I'm having an issue with Microsoft Teams. I'm not able to connect to calls. So I'll say, call's not working since yesterday. Once I click Submit, which I won't do since I don't have an issue, this data will be sent for engineers to troubleshoot this issue and make my organization more efficient with these services. So throughout this experience, I've walked through how it looks like in our lighter mode. Going back to our homepage, we've heard a lot of feedback, especially from some of you, that you really want dark mode. Dark mode is currently enabled on the dashboard. We released it since we really wanted to address your feedback. We held back on expanding it to other pages since we wanted to see how you reacted. We got unanimous feedback that you loved it and wanted it across all of the different pages as well. So I'm happy to say we're working on expanding dark mode across most of our Admin Center pages and will soon be available to you. For example, we looked at our setup page earlier. This is what it looks like on dark mode. For all of the features I walked through today, I want to emphasize that these were based on your feedback that we heard from you at Ignite and also from any other venues where we collected your feedback as well. I really, really, really want to emphasize that we read every one single feedback you give via the Give Feedback button here. We have rotations for us from engineering, design, and program management to look through those settings and incorporate your feedback on the product roadmap. So going back to our slides, I just want to emphasize that our booth is in 25, so if you have any questions about any of these features or would love to give us more input and feedback, please stop by. Again, want to emphasize that the feedback button is there. We read every one of your feedback, and if you would like to be a part of user research studies, please select the link in called ux.microsoft.com Ignite 2019. And then we've had a couple of sessions already that touched the features I demoed very quickly earlier. My colleague, Carissa Larson, talked about the user management experience. So if you haven't seen that, please look at it. Timothy Heaney talked about the setup page. He's also my colleague. So those are live via videos. My other colleague as well, Alice Appleton, talked about the roles management experience. It'll be in video soon for you to watch. And there's a couple of sessions still left for Microsoft 365 admins, so please attend those. Thank you, and stop by our booth or come to me if you have any questions. Thank you.